I was watching this YouTube channel. It's called the Outdoor Boy YouTube channel, and there's this guy that gives these good camping survival advice. And one of the way that I see them camping in the winter is that they would have like these inflatable tents. Do you know inflatable tents?
I've never used one.
The ones that you pump up, right? But then they would have these stoves inside them.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then the stove would keep inside the tent warm, and
and you can do that if you're out in flat country, but if you're climbing a mountain, you won't be packing the stove.
That's too much stuff.
Yeah.
That's too much stuff. How has that like helped you, like say in ministry? Because one thing we don't talk about a lot is the importance of taking personal time, of doing recreational things, especially when you're in stressful position. How has that helped you in some of the most stressful times of your life in ministry by just being able to go out?
It has saved my life, literally.
Yes.
I used to, when I was in Winnipeg, I used to run marathons. And so training for running marathons was time to just mentally relax and just the physical activity. And, it really de-stresses me. Yeah. And so I find that today I can't run marathons because of injuries, but I can hike in the mountains, and I love to do that. We'll go out at least a couple times a month to do a day trip. And usually I have a couple times a year where I'll go on a multi-day trip where I'm backpacking and tenting. My wife and I generally will plan one of those trips each year, and then I have a group of men that I go out with in the spring. Yeah. But those, I say it as kind of a cliche, but those times, they feed my soul. Yeah. To be out in nature, surrounded by the reminders constantly that God made all this. Wow. And the beauty and just the constant reminders, the little object lessons that you learn from nature. That is what keeps me sane.
That's good. That's good. How do you nurture your own spiritual growth and well-being in the midst of your leadership responsibility? Because that can be challenging, because you're feeding everyone, right? Yeah. And it's kind of like the responsibility that everyone is expecting from you because you're a leader, right? Yeah. But how do you nourish your own spiritual life and well-being?
Well, scripture and prayer, you know, that's the foundation. I also value Christian music. And so when I'm traveling, many times I'm listening to music. In fact, my tendency, I listen to music more than I listen to podcasts.
Oh, really?
In my travel time.
What kind of music do you like?
My preference is contemporary Christian music.
Okay.
And that I just find it keeps my faith fresh when I'm driving and I'm thinking about the lyrics and kind of like, oh man, I didn't think of that before. You know? And so those things really help keep my relationship with Jesus fresh. And it when I'm traveling, and there's generally I will have each month a time or two when I am traveling out of province, and so when I'm flying, you got time to read that I don't have maybe from day to day, and so there are pockets of time, and when I'm on those trips, I try to make use of those blocks of travel time too.
So do you travel a lot with this new position?
It fluctuates from month to month. I may go a month or two without a trip, right, and then I'll have 2 or 3 trips in 1 month.
Wow!
And I'm also recording some shows for Hope Channel Canada called The Great Outdoors. So this is kind of based on my passion. So we get out into nature, and we talk about Jesus. Yeah, and so I was away the weekend before last. We left on Sunday and went to British Columbia. We're in the mountains for 2 days recording shows. And, so there's times locally when you're away like that, but there's meetings in Oshawa or at the North American Division down in Columbia, Maryland, or, the North American Division has it has a retreat for conference presidents and their spouses every year in February, and there's actually a second one in April, in August, and so these are times when we can really come apart, as Jesus said, and rest a while and be fed spiritually and rest physically, and so there are things like this that help as well.
Yeah, that's good. Hello, my wonderful friends. Pause for just a moment. If you're getting any value from this video that you're watching right now, I'm asking you one favor. Hit the subscribe button. Why? Because your participation by just subscribing or commenting on this video does a lot for this channel. It fuels this channel so that we can reach a lot more people. Just do me this one favor and subscribe. Now, back to the video. What are the key priorities and goals for the conference in this coming year?
So we are currently in the process of looking at the next 5 years.
Right.
And so we're kind of focused on that right now. I'm working with 20 departmental directors and volunteer ministry coordinators. So we have about 10 of each. So departmental directors are full-time focused on their department, whether that is personal ministries and Sabbath school, whether that is ministerial, or camp director, summer camp, youth ministries. We have 10 full-time, but we have 10, we call them volunteer ministry coordinators that are already working a full-time job, and this is kind of over and above.
Right.
And so with those 20 individuals, we're in a process right now. I've told them a few days ago, I said, in 10 days, I need to know what your goals and strategies are for the next 5 years. And so they're just trickling in right now. And I've been in contact, dialoguing with them as well, because I know that's a fairly short time frame.
Right.
But we have our XCOM, our conference board of directors meeting in January, and I want to present to them the plan, not only what the goals are, but what the action plans will be to help reach those goals when we meet January 21. Now, we have some overarching goals that we're developing for the conference. For example, church planting goals. Right now, we're talking about over the next 5 years that we need to plant at least 20 new churches.
Yeah.
That number could shift a bit, but we need to have an aggressive church planting goal. That's one of the foundations of evangelism. We're also looking at a baptismal goal. I don't know that we've had a baptismal goal recently in the Alberta Conference, but the goal that I am putting out there